Alright, Asmongold got banned on Twitch. There's a lot of different reasons that people are floating around as to why Asmongold was banned on Twitch. Some people were saying it's because he showed horsecock on stream. Then Asmongold said that he was banned because he spoke the truth on, like, a group of people, like, assumedly people in third world countries or whatever. I don't fully trust Asmongold's retelling of it, if I'm going to be honest with you. It sounds to me like Asmongold... To me, it kind of struck me as Asmongold was, like, downplaying his reason for getting banned. I don't fucking know. Whatever. We're just gonna watch it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Asmongold, you look like shit. We're only, like... We haven't even watched the video yet. You look like shit, dude. Bro, he's got, like, hairs graying and everything. Is this what every Asmongold fan watches? Is this what every Asmongold fan enjoys? This is what every Asmongold fan is like. And they see him, and they're like, wow, this heavily relates to me. I got all this fucking junk and shit in my room. This is what I jerk off to every fucking day. Look at him, dude. This is crazy. Wow. That's crazy.
Guys,
guys, I'm ready to give you a performative video right now.
got suspended on Twitch in the middle of my Crimson Desert playthrough. I don't know what I'm gonna be able to do. It's gonna be an entire week. I mean, geez, guys.
Whoa!
I'm gonna have so much free time. Well, I guess I could start by making this video, right? So, I got suspended last night on Twitch. I end my stream, and I come back from the gas station, and I get a message, and somebody says, why can't I chat in your stream? And I'm like, well, I don't know, what happened? And I look, and I get a message, and it says that my account has been suspended for 7 days because of hateful conduct.
That doesn't surprise me. Quite frankly, I'm surprised you didn't get banned sooner for all the fucking crazy shit that you've been saying this year, the last year, and, like, the constant inciting of violence that you do every single fucking time you stream. I'm honestly shocked that you haven't gotten banned sooner, I'm not gonna lie.
So, this is what I did. This is what I said. I said that I didn't give a fuck about the opinions of third worlders, and then particularly...
Whoa, that sounds very familiar. It sounds awfully familiar to something you said about Palestine 2 years ago, Asmongold. Or I guess a little over a year ago, whatever.
And the thing that they reference, I'm
just curious, like, this is the thing, right? Asmongold is sitting here, and, like, I already know what he's gonna say before he says it. He's gonna sit here, and he's gonna try to tell you guys how what he is saying is not crazy, and how what he is saying is not some form of psychosis. But, you know, I have a couple of clips pulled up here. I figured it's just appropriate to show some of the more recent takes that Asmongold has had, just to really prove that, he actually is pretty fucking insane, and anyone that, like, unironically takes this fucker seriously is just, like, utterly stupid, and I don't know what else to say. There's no nicer way to say it, I'm sorry. This clip, posted by Yeet 3 days ago, talking about James Tallarico. This is an interesting thing to talk about.
So, somewhere along the line in the West, people psyoped Christians into thinking that being a good Christian is being obedient to people that want...
I could have sworn Asmongold said that he was atheist, though. Like, I swear to God, Asmongold said that he was an atheist and that he didn't believe in Christianity. But, again, Asmongold is trying his hardest to grift for MAGA as much as possible, so he's gonna lean into the magical apple curse.
To subvert you. And I think that...
Wait, let's go back and listen to that again.
Being a good Christian is being obedient to people that want to subvert you.
Yeah, that's just not happening, ever. Like, nobody comes into America to try to subvert you at all. The only people that are subverting us nowadays is MAGA. Like, MAGA is are the people that are trying to subvert us. Right? Like, MAGA, like, what is MAGA, right? Religious purists, anti-gay, anti-trans, anti-anyone that isn't white, basically. You have MAGA, who defends our pedophile president, refuses to release the client list because, let's be real, he is most likely a predator on the client list himself, and that's why he will not release it at all. Despite the fact that he promised to during his campaign and many times. Yeah, like, MAGA are the people that are trying to tear this country apart. Asmongold, who is part of MAGA, is trying to tear this country apart with all the fucking rhetoric that he spews online.
And I think that what's happened is that there are so many Christians that have bought into this psyop and this manipulation that you have, I mean, even sometimes the Pope says things that I think are not true. I think that they're not in line with what basically what they do is they take the entire page and they take out one sentence, and it's like, Jesus said that you should love your neighbor. And Jesus also, and God also said a million other things, but we're going to ignore all those. And we're just going to say this one thing. And loving your neighbor means you have to give foreigners all your stuff.
It's... I don't think that's what love thy neighbor means. Like, I feel like you went on this, like, whole rant about, like, people taking one line out of context, but you literally just took one line from the Bible out of context. And that's, like, one of the more important values of religion is love thy neighbor. That's supposed to be what it is anyways, and that's why I really love James Tallarico so much, because James Tallarico is, like, one of the very few real Christians that doesn't use it to justify hatred of groups of people, and he actually uses it to love thy neighbor, including other groups of people, like gay people, black people, all that good stuff, Muslim people, anybody, right? Like, whatever group you fall under, like, love thy neighbor is supposed to be universal regardless of whatever group you fall under, right? It doesn't discriminate. That's the whole point. And also, James Tallarico is just, like, very real on, like, everything that he talks about. If James Tallarico ran for president, I would vote for him. Absolutely. He is, like, in my opinion, like, my personal favorite Democrat that we've had ever. But, I mean, Asmongold is gonna just, like, do a pro-Trump talking point and say Democrat bad, and therefore James Tallarico's bad. That's gonna be the take that he's gonna give here.
So they're effectively co-opting and using the religion as a vehicle to push a different ideology.
How would you know that? You're not religious. You're an atheist.
Pope only represents Catholics, not Christians. No, you're right about that. That's true. And I think that's what's happened. And I think that's the big issue why Christianity, like, you see, I think a great example of this type of thing is James Tallarico. I think that he is the prime example of a bad actor who uses the Christian faith as a vehicle to push ideology that's subversive to people that they're preaching to.
What an idiot. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not gonna sit here and be like, oh, hey, MAGA are the correct religious people who are just a bunch of religious purist freaks that only like religion but hate other groups of people, which is massive cognitive dissonance. We're not doing this. We're not gonna sit here. If you are part of MAGA, you cannot say that other people are grifting for religion. It is just like, we're not doing this. Donald Trump, his, like, previous fucking spiritual advisor, convicted of child rape. And not to mention, you have, like, all these other fucking weird MAGA freaks in the fucking churches, which are more likely to abuse a power dynamic with children, as opposed to James Tallarico, who says, love thy neighbor. Like, Asmongold, it's so weird. We're about to watch a clip on this later, but, like, Asmongold doesn't care when religion is a threat to children. He only cares when, I guess in a hypothetical world, people are using it to justify loving people that aren't white, I guess. Wow. Amazing.
He's a Trojan horse. He's not even a Trojan horse. He's just literally the enemy at the gates, right? It's nothing else really more complicated than that.
Guys, I'm speaking in a very calm demeanor. That means I'm very intellectual and I'm very intelligent and I'm in my MAGA cocksucking echo chamber. That means I know what I'm talking about. I'm speaking calm. Guys, the school bus over there. The school bus is red. It's red. It's not yellow. It's red. You've been gaslit, guys. Guys, gravity is not real. The sky is red now, as well. Black people made the sky red, and I'm speaking in a very, very calm voice. We have to remember, just because Asmongold is, like, speaking in a calm demeanor, doesn't make him correct at all. Like, Asmongold sounds reasonable. And that's how he's able to fool many people into thinking what he's saying is true, but it's not. It's actually, like, legitimate brain fog invading in his brain and talking right now.
Tallarico's a heretic? Yeah, I think he is. I don't like...
You wouldn't know that. You're not religious.
Like what he's saying.
Wow. Another amazing take from Asmongold. This was a very recent take, too, as of the time of me recording this. Oh, this one's a big one. This is apparently Asmongold just justifying child rape, basically.
Fix your own fucking country, marrying 13-year-olds, 9-year-olds, and then maybe we can talk about the Epstein files after that.
I I just need to break down how ridiculous that take. I just need you guys to understand how ridiculous this take is. Asmongold says he is of the position that just because all these like third world countries, I assume he's talking about the Middle East, all these countries in the Middle East have a very low age of consent, right? That's bad, not good. If Asmongold were to say, yeah, that's very bad, you know, all these other countries have a low age of consent as well. We also have a president who won't release the client list. That's also bad, you know. No, like, he's not having any, like, nuanced conversation. No, it's not that. His position is that other countries have a low age of consent, and therefore, we shouldn't be talking about the Epstein files. He is saying you should not be talking about the Epstein files at all when other countries have a low age of consent. That's interesting. Wow. So you're saying that because the president that you and your echo chamber cum guzzle for is a predator on the Epstein list, refuses to release the client list, we shouldn't talk about that when other countries are, I guess, in your eyes, a bigger problem in regards to low age consent laws. We need to understand, this is how you know Asmongold, this is all about just, like, hating brown people. This is how you know this. And because, like, all these third world countries that Asmongold is shitting on endlessly has the similar problems that we have. He is saying that they live in shitholes. Look at him, he lives in a fucking shithole. He's saying that these countries, low age of consent, Asmongold, out here, defends Trump being on the Epstein list, is still friends with Tectone despite being a rapist, Nuxtaku, threat to children, Lakari is the only black person he seems to like, but he has fucking CSAM and Lolly on his folder. You have Rev Says Desu, who's an orbiter of him, absolute fucking lolicon religious freak. Leaflet, who is also a threat to children, orbiter of Asmongold. Nick Fuentes, Asmongold aligns himself with him. Nick Fuentes says that 15, 16-year-olds are not bad. Sneeko, who constantly justifies child marriage and Asmongold thinks he's based. I mean, like, how many times are you gonna align yourself with predators before it starts to become a pattern of behavior with you? Where you like, it is a pattern of behavior that Asmongold, I genuinely, honestly, and you guys can think I'm fucking coping, but like, Asmongold is genuinely, I honestly don't even think it's cope. I think if you don't see it this way, I actually legitimately think you're just not willing to see reality. I honestly think Asmongold is fine with pedophilia. I genuinely think Asmongold has reached a point where he thinks that children getting harmed is not that big of a deal to him. Like, the Overton window has shifted so much to, like, extremely far-right shit that Asmongold has kind of reached a point where he doesn't care that children are getting raped right before his eyes. Like, Asmongold could see a child getting his ass fucked right in front of him, and he wouldn't care. Like, it would not matter to him. The only time he would have a problem with it is if, like, a fucking black person was responsible for it or something. That's the only time Asmongold would have a problem with it, because Asmongold's an incredibly racist individual, and that's kind of just where we're at.
You're aware that it's legal to marry children in many states in the USA? No, I'm not aware of that. Would you like to educate me? Why don't you educate me on this topic? Ask Rock.
Well, yeah, child marriage happens in the US all the fucking time, unfortunately. I think it's legal if it's, like, there's, like, parental consent involved with it, which is pretty gross, but I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Is child marriage legal in the USA?
Yes, child marriage is legal in the USA, so Asmongold just gets owned immediately. By the way, this right here is why Asmongold never fact-checks anything on his stream, ever. He never does. Like, he has a consistent pattern of only fact-checking things when he knows for a fact he's going to be correct. I guess this time he decided he was going to fact-check it because he was curious. I guess he thought that he was going to be confident in his stance on it, but clearly he was wrong on it because, well, he got owned.
Yeah, so one party's still under 18. Well, how many of them have happened? How many child marriages?
Between between the year 2000 and 2021, nearly 315 million thousand, not million. Jesus Christ, that's still a high number, but, like, it's not million. Okay. Around 16 or 17. Probably, most likely with parental consent, because that's the only way it can happen legally. He just gets, like, totally fucking owned on that. Alright, well, you heard it from Asmongold. Child marriage and children getting raped is not bad when it happens in America, but we can only talk about it if we handle it in the other countries first. Got it. Cool. So a very pitiful deflection on Asmongold's part to try to distract from the fact that Trump is most likely a pedophile. Anyways, I think we got sidetracked way too much. Let's get back to this shithole video.
I was referring to illiterate goat herders from Afghanistan.
Again,
I'm sorry, Asmongold. Illiterate goat herders? Look at you. Look at you. Look at you, motherfucker. You look like a homeless goat fucker yourself. Like, I'm sorry, you don't want to go down this road, Asmongold. You don't want to say that other people are, like, goat herders or goat fuckers when you look like the biggest fucking goat fucker from Alabama. Like, you don't want to go down this road. I'm sorry.
the way this looks out in the public is not a United States.
The opinions of third worlders don't matter. Like, I don't care what some illiterate goat herder thinks in Afghanistan. It doesn't matter.
You look like a goat fucker.
In the context of those people believing AI-generated videos about Iran winning the war and nuking Israel off the map.
Okay, yeah, some people believed in AI-generated videos, but, so did MAGA. Like, MAGA literally was believing, like, Iran was, like, celebrating. There was, like, AI-generated videos of civilians in Iran that were celebrating when the U.S. attacked Iran. There was, like, AI-generated videos on Twitter going on about it. Like, fucking MAGA, like, literally MAGA and, like, weird right-wing loser freaks, when they scroll through Twitter all the time, they believe in AI-generated shit all the fucking time. That's what you guys do.
Gentlemen, I would like to confirm that I am 100% right, and you don't either. And neither do they. Because if Twitch cares about their opinions, why don't they apply Afghanistan's opinions to women on Twitch?
You know, that's an interesting point that Asmongold just brought up here. Because he just cited, since regaining power in August 2021, the Taliban has implemented a system of systematic oppression against women in Afghanistan. Asmongold, you want this. You want women to be oppressed. You constantly shit on women all the fucking time. You want this. Asmongold says that third worlders are bad, and he tries to disguise it, the reasoning for why he thinks third worlders are bad, because of the values that they hold. Asmongold does not think third worlders are bad because of the values that they hold. Asmongold is the third worlder. He shares all these values. What are third worlders, right? They are anti-gay, anti-trans, anti-women, pro-children getting raped, and pro-people just in general getting raped. Asmongold likes all of these things. He shares similar values. So again, Asmongold doesn't care about any of these values, because if he did, he would apply it to here in America, but he doesn't. He sweeps for Donald Trump doing all of these things. And Trump is also a convicted felon, and also he was convicted in a civil case of raping somebody. It's the same guy who says grab her by the fucking pussy. Wow, yeah, who would have guessed that that guy's a rapist pedophile? Who would have guessed? Yeah, like, Asmongold wants this. He is the third worlder that everybody hates. This is cognitive dissonance.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it? But everybody knows nobody gives a fuck about them. Nobody
Yeah, you don't.
cares. I'm not sorry. I'm right. I said nothing wrong, and nothing I said was against the terms of service.
Well, clearly it was, because you got banned for a week on whatever it was. Again, I'm still shocked that you were not banned sooner.
Beyond that, do you even imagine a world where somebody that says that they don't care about what a fat American thinks about the Middle East, can you imagine that?
I think you said more than that. I don't think it was just you sharing an opinion harmlessly that got you banned. I think you said a lot more than that, and I think you're purposely downplaying the reason you got banned. I'm not even gonna lie.
This person ever gets suspended? Of course not.
He has some woke qualities, but he's nowhere near as woke as Francis. Francis was a socialist. This motherfucker is an American. And I think...
Oh my god, great. Now, I'm glad we got Hassan in here. Very, very offline behavior from Asmongold.
Americans are gross. Americans do not have a understanding of the world. America-fying anything is going to be bad.
I don't care. I'm sorry. Listen, people are going to sit here and be like, oh, but Hassan bad. Hassan shocked his dog. Hassan anti-America like this. Who cares about what Hassan thinks? Who gives a fuck? No one takes this guy seriously anymore. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Like, honestly, I am at a point now where I do not give a fuck about anything Hassan does. I don't care. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't. Like, Hassan is a bad person. Yes, sure. Great. I'm glad you stated the obvious. But, like, you guys are so much worse. Asmongold says that illegal immigrants are rapist pedophiles and that they're horrible people, despite the fact that they just come here to start a new life and start a new country. Asmongold thinks that they're all trying to eat our children and eat us alive. Which, by the way, is very strange because Asmongold draws the line at eating children, but not if you rape them, basically. So that's funny. Not really. Again, Asmongold constant downplays Trump being on the Epstein list, constantly aligns himself with Nick Fuentes, who thinks that marrying 15, 16-year-olds is fine as a grown adult, constantly runs defense for Sneeko, who says that marrying 12-year-olds, as long as they look sexy enough, is totally okay. Like, you guys are worse. Asmongold surrounds himself with constant predatory people. You are worse. You are worse. Asmongold constantly aligns his values with predators and pedophiles. Constantly. Again and again. Asmongold has a huge problem with this. I don't care about whatever the fuck you're showing here. I'm sorry. I'm skipping past this. I don't care. Like, I do not give a fuck about you, like, whatever Hassan has to say. We know he's stupid.
Very limited understanding of the universe.
And so why am I getting suspended? It's more third worldist morality logic inversion.
You are the third worlder, though. You are the third worlder that you claim to hate.
That basically is being used to silence me for an entire week.
Guys, I'm a victim. COVID wasn't real, guys. Donald Trump is right. COVID was a hoax. It never happened. Even though he downplayed it and said that we had nothing to worry about until we got state of emergency and things got worse and Biden got us through COVID way better. That's literally the energy of this. That's the energy of this whole thing. It's just like, I'm a victim and I have a victim complex and I need to complain about being a victim despite the fact that I never leave my house and nobody cares about me and no one loves me.
That's the important part that I want to talk about here. It's because basically Twitch has a system where they say that your infractions or your bad actions expire within 1 year. Well, the last time I was suspended, well, we all remember the last time I was suspended, but that was in October.
Yeah, you justified Palestinians getting fucking bombed and you dog whistled that they deserve to die because they had an inferior culture, despite the fact that your culture is just letting yourself rot in your attic with this junk and this filth. Like, what is this shit, dude? You, like, clean your fucking room. You're a millionaire. Clean your fucking room. You can't even pay somebody to clean your fucking room for you, and you're a millionaire.
October 2024. I have not been suspended for over an entire year. Why does that matter? Well, it matters because they say it matters. It matters because they say that's whenever the infractions expire and your account is treated as not being in bad standing. So why is it in that case that instead of getting a warning, instead of getting a suspension, instead of getting for a day, instead of getting a suspension for 3 days, I immediately went from that all the way to a 7-day suspension?
Oh no! I can't say fuck brown people on Twitch without getting consequences for it. Oh no! Again, I'm surprised you didn't get banned sooner. You've said so much crazy shit. You've made many calls to violence, and you've said that, like, tons of brown people... You think Somalian people are inherently lower IQ. Like, Asmongold is a white supremacist. Like, he thinks that Somalian people are inherently lower fucking IQ. Like, Asmongold is an incredibly racist person, and now he's crying that he can't be racist anymore. This is equivalent to somebody who like, I don't know, think of, like, any fucking retail job, for example, right? Think of, like, a retail job that, like, slightly overcharges somebody or whatever, right? Like, it's, like, in small fractions. Like, they overcharge by, like, 25 or 50 cents or something like that. And for the longest time, they get away with it. But, like, the one time that their boss catches them and their boss decides to either fire them or, like, punish them in some way, like, suddenly now they're crying, being like, oh, I never broke the rules. What the fuck happened? That's what you're doing right now. That's the equivalent of what Asmongold is doing here. He has constantly pushed the line of what breaking the rules is. He's constantly tested to see what he can get away with. And finally, when he says, I still don't even know fully what he got banned for. I'll try to find it after I'm done talking here. But, like, I assume it was some pretty fucking crazy shit that he got banned for. Like, finally now Asmongold is banned because he decided to be crazy. Oh, okay, this clip that, how do I say your name? Leia Sapienti? Is that how I say your name? I'm so sorry if I butchered her name. But, she posted a clip saying, this is what Twitch streamer Asmongold said before ending his stream before the community guidelines was the community guidelines violation was issued. I am wondering if his talking points on Iran or maybe China put him at risk with Twitch. I am being highly speculative here.
Strait is open. The IRGC is fractured. What if there's a group of people that are in the IRGC that think that Iran is capitulating and they're going to keep bombing ships in the sea? This is a reality of what could happen. And I think that it's a big issue. Even if they say that, like, the IRGC is fractured massively. Don't fracture it then? Well, we had to. I mean, like, you had to do that. It was open before the war. Yeah, but I mean, like, it was open, but there were also 50 other problems. Yeah, we didn't. I do think so. I think that Iran, you can't have a civilized world and a safe world with a country like Iran. I think that they need to get wiped out. The government does.
Interesting. So, well, he says that the government does. Like, you could chalk that up to him maybe, like, misspeaking there. But, I mean, like, also you could chalk it up to, if you're, like, not charitable, and quite frankly, I don't really care to be charitable to Asmongold. There's not really much reason to be charitable to him. You could say that this could be, like, a dog whistle to just, like, wipe out Iran in its entirety. That's, like, a possibility, which I don't agree with either, because that would imply that you would be committing war crimes to take out Iran.
You can't coexist with people like that. And the sooner that you get rid of them, the more painless it is. You can't coexist with them. They aren't. The reason why they're not trying, like, they would attack us more if they could.
Well, we have to understand that the reason why a lot of these countries are angry with us, and I'm not justifying any of their regimes going on, like, we constantly fucking siphon resources from these third world countries all the time. Like, we constantly, like, steal resources from them endlessly. They could prosper, and they could live economically well, but like, the U.S. has historically done that constantly. They've siphoned resources from, like, the Middle East and, like, other countries endlessly so that they don't, like, live and prosper as much as they otherwise would.
We coexist with CCP. The CCP isn't chanting out death to America. We actively do business with the CCP constantly.
I don't really care about this point because you and MAGA are, like, very anti-American. Like, you guys are the third worlders. I don't really care about this point.
They don't have a religious overruling ideology that is a conquer ideology, and they don't mercilessly kill their people. At least, I mean, like, again,
that's odd, considering, like, MAGA is, like, very religious, and the whole J6 was done based on, like, a whole conspiracy that the election was stolen, and, like, the whole fucking magical apple curse and everything. So that's ironic. I don't know.
And if the numbers,
it's like, I get religion's bad unless it fits my grift, I guess.
Numbers are,
like, we literally just watched a clip of Asmongold calling James Tallarico a heretic for not being religious in the way that he wants him to be.
To be believed, the Tiananmen Square massacre was nothing compared to what Iran did. Iran, like,
I could have sworn Asmongold was, like, there's a clip of Asmongold, like, criticizing Hassan for, like, running propaganda for China. I could have sworn that clip exists. And now he's, like, using China as an example when it, like, best suits him.
2x that. Almost 3x that.
Fucking Asmongoldfish, again.
And also, I think that China is becoming more westernized and more Americanized and more capitalist. And I think that Iran, that will continue to happen too. And I think that we're also becoming slightly more Chinese. But I think that's the global that's the global exchange, right? China doesn't seem communist nowadays. Well, here's how you know China's not communist, okay? It's because their kids want to be influencers now and they're getting fat. That's how you know they're not communist anymore.
Okay, I mean, is that the entire clip?
On tomorrow, and I will see you guys then.
Okay, yeah, I think that's the entire clip. Yeah, I mean, the only problematic thing I can see from that clip, apparently, is that, like, he potentially dog whistled that you should pretty much just, like, wipe Iran off the map entirely. I wouldn't doubt that that's something Asmongold unironically thinks, considering he just hates anyone that isn't white. It's not, like, fully clear based on the way he worded it, but, like, some could argue that it could potentially be, like, a dog whistle to just, like, wipe Iran. Because, like, the way he says it...
They aren't. The reason why they're not...
Hold on, where is it?
Can't coexist with them. With people like that. And the sooner that you get rid of them...
Oh, right here. Okay, right here.
Do you think so? I think that Iran... You can't have a civilized world and a safe world with a country like Iran. I think that they need to get wiped out. The government does.
Yeah, so it sounds to me like Asmongold thought of saying... Like, he thought of what's the most outrageous thing I could say is that we need to wipe out Iran, but then he quickly added the, the government does, just as, like, a correction, I guess, because he realizes, oh, shit, uh-oh.
You can't coexist with people like that.
Okay. Alright, well, whatever. I mean, like I said, most likely was like some level of a dog whistle. It's not explicit though in this clip, but I could see why people would think that's a dog whistle. Totally, given everything that Asmongold has historically said.
Immediately. Why would this happen? What is the reason for it? I have no idea. Is it because they don't like what I'm saying? It has
Probably not. I mean, you say a lot of fucking outrageous shit and rage bait for attention.
to be, because it's certainly not because what I'm saying is against the terms of service.
But it is. You got banned for a week for it.
I looked at the terms of service. Yes, using nationality is a protected group, but I was not talking about them being disregarded because of nationality. I was talking about them being disregarded because of the fact that they're watching literal AI-generated videos and then believing a false narrative.
I don't understand how Asmongold makes an argument and, like, fails to even realize that this argument can be used against him. I don't understand how he, like, Asmongold is a walking L, constantly. Like, he is a fucking, just, like, a massive, just, like, a giant letter L that is walking. MAGA does the same thing. They believe that Iran was, like, celebrating that Donald Trump fucking bombed it indiscriminately for all the wrong reasons, by the way. Most of those videos were AI-generated slop on Twitter, and MAGA just, like, fucking took it at face value, because that's where we're at. Like, tons of terminally online MAGA freaks, including Asmongold, just, like, see something in their Twitter feed and go, oh yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's at face value. Oh, it's a right-wing account? That's a fact. Fucking moron. Total, like, brain-fogged moron.
And the video's context was about, would you rather be having likes on Twitter or having your entire Navy not destroyed?
Do you think that the Iranians would rather have their entire Navy back or their memes?
Oh, this guy. Hold on.
That the Iranians would rather have their entire Navy back or their memes?
This guy, by the way, this guy is like a massive, massive Epstein defender, by the way. Another Asmongold out. This guy right here that you have on screen, this guy was like a massively fucking running defense for the Epstein files. Dude, or Jeffrey Epstein, excuse me. Either way, like, Asmongold, you are not beating the allegations of constantly aligning yourself and associating with predatory people and predators and pedophiles. You're not beating these allegations, Asmongold. It seems to be that Asmongold, wow, maybe Asmongold's experimenting a little bit. Maybe Asmongold realizes that the women hate he has so much is not getting him girls as much, so he thinks aligning himself with predators might have an opening? Whoa, I think we found a new one, guys. Consistent behavior of aligning with predatory people. Lakari, fucking Nuxtaku, Tectone, defending Donald Trump and Epstein, Nick Fuentes, Sneeko. And this guy, I just named 7 people. There's probably more. Oh yeah, Leaflet as well, that's 8. Wow. Oh, and Rev says Desu as well. That's 9. 9 people. Wow, Asmongold. Wow.
Jeez, guys, I wonder. And so anyway...
Jeez, guys, I love aligning myself with rapist pedophiles. I love it so much. MAGA for the win, yes. Do you even say for the win anymore? Asmongold's a millennial. He's like 35 years old. He was around the time when people said when for the win was still a thing. I don't know. I have a brother who's a millennial, and he had a lot of millennial friends that, I don't know, man. That was an old thing, I guess. I had a fucking one-leg millennial moment there, even though I'm Gen Z. I'm like not even a real Gen Zer. Whatever. The point still stands. Asmongold loves rapist pedophiles. The point still stands.
Wait, this is what's happened, is that I have been suspended for an entire week for that. That's it. And I'll play the clip for you guys, okay? And this is, by the way, there's not a 100% certainty with this, that this is the clip, but this is the thing that they quoted from, and it's the thing that they gave me an example of. And I will say also, by the way, my contacts and relationship with Twitch on an interpersonal level has been nothing but tremendous. I have great respect for the people that I've dealt with Twitch. I have no actual animosity towards those people, so just make sure that you guys understand that. Don't shoot
whatever, I guess.
the messenger or anything like that. It's the moderation team and the people that decided that I did something wrong.
Yeah, you probably said some really racist shit. I mean, to my understanding, it seemed like Asmongold got banned because it might have dog whistled that we should, fucking get rid of Iran. Which, by the way, it could communicate that there is some, like, pattern of behavior of Asmongold constantly making calls to violence. Like, he's made a call to violence on Palestinian people, saying he doesn't give a fuck that they got bombed and that they're terrible people. And the same thing with Renee Good laughing at her death, saying, "Gotcha, bitch." The same thing with Alex Preddy getting shot in the face. Constant, like, calls to fucking violence. And same with, like, downplaying January 6th. Asmongold doesn't really care. Like, he has a history of, like, being a violent individual on Twitch.
And maybe they made a mistake. Well, I know they made a mistake, but maybe they'll recognize that, and I'll get an unban early. And if
I could understand this reasoning if this was, like, a YouTube ban. I could, because YouTube, like, unfortunately, a lot of YouTube's moderation is just fucking AI, unfortunately. This is not much you can do about it. Same for TikTok. TikTok probably just uses a bunch of fucking AI to detect their shit. And TikTok is, like, an even worse platform when it comes to their moderation, because it's fucking terrible. It's, like, an uber-sensitive platform. But, like, Twitch, to my knowledge, doesn't do that. So that's why I'm less inclined to believe this narrative, because, like, I'm sure Asmongold said some fucking outrageous shit that got him banned. Again, I'm surprised he didn't get banned sooner.
If they didn't, I guess, well, I mean, and here's the annoying thing, right, is like, well, if Trump nukes Iran, which seems like that's getting more likely every day.
That shouldn't happen, because it'll start, like, it's, like, you guys voted Trump in. You guys voted in a warmonger, except I shouldn't say Asmongold. I shouldn't say you guys, because Asmongold doesn't leave his house. He can't vote. He never leaves his house. The fucking group you align yourself with, MAGA, you guys voted in this warmongering freak that nukes all these other countries. Because you guys think that brown people are a problem. That's what you guys think. Yeah, wow. It's fucking Trump was, the writing had been on the wall for Trump being a batshit crazy motherfucker. And you still got him in. Wow. Wow, who would have guessed?
Then I'm going to have to go live on Kick and Rumble, right? Maybe on YouTube too. I prefer just to do Kick and Rumble. It's a copyright thing, right? It's a confusing, content creator reason. But like, and then we'll continue uploading videos. And if something big.
Right. So Asmongold is like saying, yeah, if things are still going on, he'll go on Kick and Rumble and he'll stream there. Asmongold purposely said that he's not streaming on YouTube. And I think the reason why Asmongold never streams on YouTube is because if Asmongold were to stream on YouTube, he would be banned instantly. And I think he knows this. I think he understands that a lot of the shit that Asmongold does, a lot of the shit that he says, like, if he, for whatever reason, decided to stream on YouTube, he would get banned instantly. So that's why he has to go to all these other fucking degenerate platforms like Kick and Rumble, which is like, Asmongold wouldn't be making shit off Rumble just because Rumble is like a fucking worthless platform. But like Kick, I don't know. There still would be something there, I guess.
Happens, don't worry, I'll be there, and you'll have a way to watch me, and it'll.
Yeah, not on YouTube, and there's a very specific reason why Asmongold won't stream on YouTube. He'd be banned instantly if he did.
Be all back to usual, but I would like to take at least a little bit of time and like maybe fix a little bit of things in my life and just relax a little bit.
I doubt that. Fix things in your life that you can start by fixing your room. You can't even fix your own room. Like, this is the thing, right? This is an average day in the life of Asmongold. He wakes up, scrolls through fucking Twitter. Maybe he'll find a couple of videos that he pre-watches, and then he'll react to that on stream, right? And he scrolls through Twitter, gets psyoped into believing that, like, a black person did... Like, he'll see something in his feed that says a black person did a bad thing, and he's constantly psyoping himself into believing that black people are terrible people. He'll go on stream, say all this hateful shit on stream. He'll watch the videos that he pre-watched on stream. Gets off stream after like 4 or 5 hours, scrolls through Twitter more. Like, this is Asmongold's entire day. It's just going through Twitter. Like, you are like plugged into the fucking MAGA manipulation machine. Like, that's who Asmongold is. He just like fucking, he is part of the he is the cog in the machine of MAGA. That's it. That's all he is.
But if something big happens, do not worry. I will be there. And I might make a couple of other videos in the meantime, just because I'll be bored. But going back to what I was saying, is that I have been suspended for this. And really, let me talk about, like, really how I feel about this. Do I give a fuck about the opinions of a bunch of third worlders in regards to what my country should do? Absolutely fucking not.
You are the third worlder, though. I've already made this point earlier in the video, but, like, all these third worlders and Asmongold basically have the same opinions. You guys have this, and MAGA too, for that matter. Like, what? Again, third worlders, anti-gay, anti-trans, they're very regressive when it comes to what they believe in. MAGA, and Asmongold are also very regressive in what they believe in. Also, all these third worlders, they usually run on a lot of religious beliefs as well. And guess what MAGA does? Wow, isn't that interesting? Holy fuck. You guys are not so different. Really. And again, this is how you know Asmongold fucking hates these people, because they're brown and they're not white. That's the only reason he hates them, honestly. Because it's certainly not for the beliefs that they believe in. They're one and the same. You would think that they would like each other, if anything. But no. Again, it's only if they're white that Asmongold would like them. That's the only part that Asmongold really has a problem with.
Do not. You shouldn't. They shouldn't give a fuck about what I think about their country. Because why would I take somebody's opinion that is from a shithole in these countries? And
you live in a shithole, dude. What are you on about?
By the way,
you are in a shithole.
Hey, these are shitholes. Many of these countries are shitholes.
First of all, love the dog whistle that these other countries are shitholes. Like that's never been used as a dog whistle to justify us doing really bad shit to them. Second of all, you live in filth. Like we heard back in 2024 constantly of Asmongold like admitting that he uses a fucking dead rat as an alarm clock. Like, and he sits in his fucking filth all day, DoorDashes Coke and drinks Coke like 3 or 4 times a day, or 6 or 7 times a day, and just decides that, like, he lives in a better world than these third worlders do.
And don't let anybody teach you or tell you that, oh, it's America's fault. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Like, we constantly siphon resources and drain them of resources so that way they can't live and prosper as much as they otherwise would economically. We have done that in the past. Now, are we the only reason for them to not do that? No, not necessarily. But, like, we can't, like, don't pretend that we don't play a role into it.
The ones that America has invaded are shitholes. The ones that America hasn't invaded or Britain hasn't invaded, they're shitholes too. They're shitholes because the people made them shitholes. And whenever I...
Yeah, you literally... Thank you, Asmongold. You literally just made the point for me that I didn't have to make. We made it that way. So did Britain. We all made these countries shithole countries. You literally just proved what I was saying. Thank you for making the point for me.
And whenever I talk about third worlders and third worldism...
You describe yourself.
I'm not even really talking about a geography, I'm talking about an ideology.
An ideology that you agree with. Like, again, you are not different from these third worlders. The only thing that separates you in your own worldview is that they're not white.
And that ideology is...
Mr. White Supremacist in his fucking attic here.
It's the idea that disrespect should be met with violence. The idea that, you know, crime, dysfunction, discord, and chaos in society should be expected.
That's what Trump does all the time, right? Like, he did a whole J6 because he tried to lie saying that the election was stolen from him. That's what Trump did. By the way, a lot of those J6ers happen to be pedophiles. So, another example of Asmongold aligning himself with pedophilia. Wow. You're really, Asmongold, you're like 10 for 10 now on like aligning yourself with predatory behavior. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, no, like Trump is like constantly like frauding people as well. So like, I don't know why like this is even a real point from you.
They're part and parcel of living in a modern city and having people, you know, like, oh, well, you can't say certain things because they might offend people or they'll make them mad. The idea that getting angry about something is a justification to break the law.
Trump's a convicted felon. Trump is Asmongold, you cum guzzle a convicted felon in office. And he led a insurrection attempt. What are you doing? You don't get to do this whole virtue signal.
This is what I'm really talking about with third worldism. Things that the Greek Senate, or
why are we fucking talking about the What?
The Greeks, the Romans.
Why are we talking about the Greeks and the Romans?
You know, we figured this out in Western society and Western culture. We've realized that you can't run a society whenever you have people that act this way.
So I need you guys to understand something. Like, Asmongold doesn't actually have a problem with third worlders, because technically, like, the Romans and the Greeks and these places in other countries, technically, like, there's a lot of these countries that are third worlders, but what's the difference between places like that and the Middle East, for example? Oh, the color of their skin. Oh. Oh, so he's dog whistling here. The third worlder, he's using third worlders as like a slur here, basically, to dog whistle that people in these countries that live in shitholes are bad people because of their skin color. That's what it is more than anything. Asmongold, I'm just saying, if somebody said this about white people, you would be throwing a fucking tantrum. You'd be throwing a crybaby tantrum and getting all emotional about it. I'm just saying, that's what you would be doing.
And it's actually a good thing to not have a bunch of crazy fent zombies on the street.
Most people are not, like, most people don't come here to do fentanyl. What are you talking about?
It's actually
Also, by the way, like, what?
a good
It's just not even happening.
thing to have people that aren't living on the sidewalk. It's actually a good
Conservatives vote for fucking homeless people, against homeless people all the fucking time. You don't care about this point. Like, stop virtue signaling. You don't care about this point.
thing to have a, civilized discussion that doesn't resort to violence whenever you hear something that makes you angry.
Didn't you literally justify Renee Good and Alex Preddy getting murdered? Same for fucking, like, justifying Palestinians getting bombed? Like Asmongold, you are the violent individual. This entire video is cognitive dissonance. I don't think we have gone a full minute without Asmongold saying something that can't be criticized against him. But, I mean, we did watch I remember watching a clip of Asmongold saying, like, when he was, like, literally laughing that Robert Mueller died and Trump celebrated it, which, by the way, is also against his narrative here, by the way. When we watched that clip, Asmongold says, I don't care about hypocrisy. That's a Reddit argument. Like, he literally says this in his clip. Asmongold does not give a shit about hypocrisy. Okay, I mean, I guess we really are just gonna sit here and be like, oh, yeah, no, the fucking violence of other people, bad. But only when I like it is when the violence is good. Great.
But for some people, this is the third worldist mindset. It is
You are the third worlder. I'm gonna keep saying it. You are the third worlder.
the aggrandizement of the base interests, the base desires, and the lowest common denominator of mankind. And you know what? I don't like it. I don't want it here. And guess what? They don't either. If Twitch thinks Afghanistan has such great opinions that should be listened to, maybe they should apply Afghanistan's opinions to women on Twitch.
Again, you want that to happen, though. You want, like, women to be... Asmongold is very anti-women. He's a fucking incel. Him and his entire audience are just full of fucking incels. Like, you want women to have You want to have regressive rights for women.
How about that? But they won't, because they also agree with me, too.
Okay, if you say so. Just keep fucking virtue signaling, I guess, if it makes you feel good, Asmongold. Like, whatever helps you cope and helps you just portray this victim complex, whatever.
I just was the one that said it, but everybody thinks this, and I have nothing...
You said way more, for sure. Like, you constantly say egregious shit and rage bait for attention. Constantly. You know you do as well. Like, don't fucking downplay it and be like, oh, I'm just a normal guy. Asmongold is the type of person to smack somebody across the face, and then when somebody hits back, he's like, oh my god, why did I get hit? That's what you're doing right now.
By the way, I said illiterate. They have 37% literacy. Flip a coin, I'm right. So the point is that, really, they all do agree with me. Everybody agrees with me on this. And if you're a guy from Afghanistan, you're watching, I don't know, I'm sure we've got a number of them. We've got a lot of people that watch the show. Listen, man, I'm not talking about you, but you know that there's some idiots in your country that are morons of talking about them.
Great. Great. Wow. Some idiots exist in some countries. I'm sure that Afghanistan is, like, way more educated than the people that are running our country. They are way more fucking educated than people like this fucking loser that just sits on Twitter all goddamn day thinking that, like, he is, like, he has the correct opinion about everything when he's not. He's incredibly stupid as shit and just sits on fucking Twitter all day getting psyoped into believing brown people are the bad guys. That's what you do. That's what you fucking do all day.
And by the way...
Oh my god.
We have those same third worldists. We have those same fucking retards in America. Being a third worlder and being a third worldist, yes, it's a geography, but it's more importantly a mindset.
You were virtue signaling about how Somalians are lower IQ, and you literally just said that, like, idiots like you and like MAGA exist in this country. You literally just, like, self-reported that you don't actually care that... So you don't care that Somalians are lower IQ then, right? I'm confused now because you're like your whole idea. You were running this point about Somalians being lower IQ, and you're like being like, oh, but that's a fact, even though it's not a fact. There's nothing. Asmongold cites nothing to substantiate his claim on this whatsoever. Birdman made a good video on this. Highly recommend it. But why do you suddenly? Again, whatever. I don't even know why I'm perseverating over this. Like, Asmongold just, like, we know that he's a racist person that just hates brown people, and that's all it is, really. And he's trying to find all these, like, loopholes to not say that, to not get banned. Like, if Asmongold could get away with it, he would say that brown people are fucking terrible and they all need to be eliminated. Like, if he could get away with saying it, he absolutely would.
And these people have that mindset, and I don't want to have it. I don't want to deal with it. I think it's destructive, it's reductive, and I want to have nothing to do with it. So that's really the way that I feel about this, right? You know, these people talk about the Epstein.
Yeah, I mean, you're fucking. I'm gonna get back to that point because that is it. I am curious to see what Asmongold says about the Epstein files, but like, yeah, everything is feelings-based with you. MAGA is a feelings-based movement. Everybody in MAGA goes about how they feel about something. They don't ever go... Like, MAGA doesn't care about facts. Like, people that are Trump supporters, that are uber diehard Trump cocksuckers, they don't really... They care about how Trump makes them feel. They don't really care about the facts and the fact of the matter of Trump refusing to release the Epstein files, which Asmongold is about to say something about that, so let's listen.
To do with it. So that's really the way that I feel about this, right? You know, these people talk about the Epstein files. They have their own Epstein files.
Yeah, that doesn't mean we can't talk about the Epstein files here, Asmongold. Again, he's deflecting. He like, we watched a clip of Asmongold attempting to deflect from the Epstein files, and you just did it again here. You're saying, oh, you guys have your own Epstein files. Yeah, the insinuation is that we shouldn't talk about Trump being on the Epstein files at all because other countries have their own Epstein files, or they have, like, lower ages of consent in their countries. This is pitiful, Asmongold. You can't do that. You can't do this virtue signal of, oh, these other countries have pedophilia in their countries, so we can't talk about pedophiles that are the president of the office that I glaze constantly all the time. Like, you can't do that. You don't get to do this virtue signal, Asmongold. You don't get to do that.
It's called the marriage records. It's called Tuesday. They have child marriage. It's legal.
You downplay Trump being on the Epstein list. You're also friends with, like, fucking Nick Fuentes and Sneeko, who, like, constantly defend marrying children.
I don't want to have that here. I don't want to have anything to do with that here.
You don't care about that, though.
So, all that being said, I don't want to go through and talk about that too much.
I wonder why. I wonder why he doesn't want to talk about that too much. I wonder why.
What am I going to do? And just very clearly, by the way, I was very surprised by this. I was very surprised by this suspension.
I'm very surprised. Guys, I say so much outrageous shit on fucking Twitch and Twitter. I constantly say racist shit, and now I can't say racist shit anymore.
I thought it was going to be for, like, 20 of the other things that I said, right?
Wouldn't that imply that you deserve to get banned, then? Wait, you just, like, self-reported that, like, you say outrageous shit that could get you banned. So isn't that implying that you do deserve to get banned, then?
I mean, I thought it'd be for, like, you know, I don't want to give them any ideas, because I did submit an appeal. I submitted an appeal, and, you know, I told them, like, and the thing is that if they tell me you can't refer to third worlders in a derogatory context, I hate to say it, you know, I don't take off my shoes whenever I walk in my own house. Somebody else asks me to walk in their house, they tell me to take off my shoes, I do it. I'm not in my own house. I will follow Twitch's terms of service begrudgingly, and you guys will know that I absolutely do not agree with it. And these are my viewpoints, but I will follow the rules. And I have always taken a good faith effort to always follow the terms of service. If there's a dick that we show on stream, well, it must be that day of the week. And on top of that, they've complained to me about that too, by the way. And if I do that, I delete the VOD and I try to move past it and I apologize. I say, oops, guys, that's my bad. I didn't mean to do that. I don't actually ever intend to break the terms of service. Why would I ever do that? Why would I ever put myself in a position where I intentionally do something that I think would put my channel at risk?
You do that all the time, though. Like, you know that you say outrageous shit for attention, and, like, that this day was going to come eventually. It's also why you don't stream on YouTube, because you know you would get banned instantly.
It's just stupid. Why would I ever do that?
Like, I understand Asmongold is a very unintelligent person, but I refuse to believe he's that unintelligent. Maybe he is. I don't know.
So the problem that I have with this is that I think that I've made it, and considering the content of my, like my stream, I cover extremely edgy content. I talk about things like...
No, that's that's a hell of a way to downplay it. Whatever, dude. That's a hell of a way to downplay it.
I talk about the most politically charged, most extreme issues.
And you say extraordinarily outrageous shit to get yourself banned. And, like, you constantly push the line for what you can get away with.
Daily basis in plain English, just, as a matter of fact. And really, I think that in order to do that and not have a million bad clips that have, been released about me, there's only 500,000. There's the reality that I do try a very good amount to try to control what I say, to make sure that what I say does not break the terms of service. And I try to say what I say with a degree of, I guess, I'm thinking about what I'm saying, right? I'm not just, going extemporaneously right off the cuff. I mean, to an extent I am, but I'm editing it in my mind to make sure that I don't say anything that would get me in trouble on Twitch. So when I said this, I didn't think I said anything wrong. And by reading the TOS, I don't think the TOS says that I said anything wrong. And the reality is that if you applied the reason why I got suspended to anybody applying this same type of language against Westerners, against Americans, against anybody in a developed country, you know that not only would it not be banned, it would probably be celebrated.
I'm pretty sure Frogan was... granted, after, like, a lot of backlash, like, Frogan and Denims were banned for doing the whole anti-Semitic dog whistle thing at TwitchCon 2024, the whole Love Sabra tier list thingy. Same for Hassan. Hassan's made calls to violence, and granted, he hasn't gotten banned for nearly as long as Asmongold has, but he... like, in history, like, Hassan has actually probably gotten banned more time... like, accumulatively, he's gotten banned more times than Asmongold has. Asmongold has gotten banned for longer times, but he hasn't been gotten banned for nearly as many times as Hassan has.
So I
don't know. I don't know if I fully buy that.
I think this is a massive double standard. It's completely unfair.
Okay. Well, you implied that you deserve to get banned earlier, so I don't really care.
I was unfairly targeted. I'm not sorry for...
Guys, I'm a victim. Please believe me, I'm such a victim.
...any of it. And I'll be waiting for Twitch's apology for unbanning me. And if it takes them a couple of days, that's fine. If it takes them an entire week, I guess I'll have to finish Crimson Desert. But the reality is that I did nothing wrong. I didn't...
No, you implied that you did something wrong.
Nothing wrong. I regret nothing. And according to their own rules, I also did nothing wrong. So all this put into context, that's pretty much where things stand. That's where we're at.
Not really. But okay. I mean, you can believe that you are, but the reality that Asmongold lives in is not the actual reality. How could you expect someone like Asmongold to live in reality when he doesn't leave his house?
I'm not really stressed out about...
He just goes on Twitter and he thinks that Twitter is a form of reality when it's not.
This. Honestly, I'm kind of excited. I feel like we've been in a little bit of a lull period, right? That's why I've been trying to do, like, I'll do the ban appeals, I'll do, like, the Jesus game, right? And, all that. And I'll be honest, what really spurred me to make a comment about it last night is that...
It's interesting. It is an interesting perspective to hear Asmongold say that we're in a drought period, which is technically true. We are in a bit of a drought period when it comes to slop. There's not really that much to talk about. So, like, I've been chilling with a lot of the reacts that I've been doing, and a lot of other people have the same. So, like, technically he's not wrong when he says that. But then Asmongold has to create that controversy by saying outrageous shit on Twitter and, like, rage baiting constantly. So, again, I feel like that might be, like, that might actually be, like, one of the biggest self-reports in his video, actually, and I'm not even kidding. Like, unintentionally, that might be the biggest self-report, and that's just the fact that, like, Asmongold knows he has to be outrageous to make sure that, like, he can create his content. So it's almost like Asmongold knows that, like, if you're saying that you've been chilling and Twitch still banned you, like, that's a self-report that's technically a self-report that you deserve to get banned because of what you knowingly are doing to push the line.
I saw on Reddit, people thought that I got banned for showing a horse's dick on stream.
I thought that as well. I saw people were saying that. Apparently that's not even true.
And I was like, this is the stupidest narrative. I have to correct this because it's so ridiculous that I don't want people to believe this. People are also saying I got banned for playing the Jesus game. I don't know. Maybe that was the reason. Maybe there's an enlightened Reddit atheist in the moderation team. But that's the reason they gave me. They said hateful conduct for 1 week. I put in my appeal. Hopefully I'll get it approved. I did nothing wrong. I apologize for nothing. I said nothing wrong. The clip is shown. Millions of people.
Okay, I mean, if you say so. Whatever, dude. I'm bored. Like, I'm gonna speed this up. I'm bored. bored. This is like, I'm bored. Like, I feel like I've been saying the same things over and over again. Like, I'm just repeating myself.
Millions. Many people say a lot of things that are a lot worse than what I say, and nothing ever
I doubt that.
happens to them. And I think it was totally unfair that
You say a lot of really bad shit. I highly doubt that.
something happened to me. All that being said, I recognize if that's what Twitch doesn't want me to say, I won't say it. Just please explain the vocabulary I'm not supposed to use, and I won't use that vocabulary. I'll just think it. So anyway,
Okay, dude. Whatever.
thank you guys all very much for watching. I really appreciate everybody's support. I know a lot of you guys have been on Twitter and everything. You guys can share the video, let people know kind of like where I'm coming from, what's going on.
Oh, yeah, I was very concerned about that. Like, yeah, very, very concerned. Yeah, I'll share your video, Asmongold, surely. Yeah, I'm very concerned about that.
On. But other than that, that's about all I've got, guys. So that's where things stand. That's where I'm at. I'm sorry that, I got suspended. Now it's like,
I was very concerned that you got suspended. You don't gotta apologize. Aw.
okay, this is complicated. It might ruin some people's schedule. They're like, oh, where's Baldy, right? And,
Yeah, I was thank you for clarifying that. I was so concerned about this.
Oh, again, if something big happens, I will be back on, and I'll stream on Kick or Rumble. But if things are just kind of the usual hysteria, news cycle, I think I'll probably just relax. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully Twitch will realize what they've done wrong, and they will undo their mistake. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me for all these years and for everything. And I'll see you all very soon. I'll talk to you later, guys. Peace.
That was fucking horrible dog shit. Jesus Christ. Well, have at it. Asmongold getting banned on Twitch, which is probably overdue.